That night, Tingana is on the prowl once more, this time for supper. Possibly distracted by the rutting males, an impala ewe falls victim to the Duke. We often talk about the enormous power of a leopard, but seldom is it on such awesome display.
The Nku has made an appearance this week and in true lion fashion were as energy efficient as ever. They groomed, yawned, stretched and spent some time sharpening their claws. This will be useful going forward as they look hungry, and I wouldn't be surprised if they make a kill shortly. With that many mouths to feed, it needs to be something substantial.
Meet Shidulu the leopardess barely 5 minutes after leaving camp. With a cool breeze blowing, this 4-year-old girl enjoys the great views of her wilderness. She climbs down to eat a kid that she had hunted earlier. Not comfortable feasting here, she locates another marula tree close by and she stashes her steenbok dinner.
We've been seeing Tandy's tracks again around this area. Well, there's a bit of erosion you don't want to drive down into. There she is! Tandy! Yes! You can't hide from us. I'm pretty sure that. Let's have a look and see. How exciting is that? Is it Tandy? Oh, she's chuffing. Is it a Kuchava maybe? I can't see now. Well, Tandy's got 3-3 spot pattern. Of course, we're now. Wonder if it's Kuchava. 3-3 spot pattern. Oh, there's a cub. There's a cub. Confusion sets in as I can't believe my eyes. A young leopard cub is staring straight at me. It's Kuchava's cub of only a few months old. Kuchava is preparing dinner and decides to hoist the daycare in a tamboti tree. Perhaps the whooping calls in the distance mean trouble.
You two boys getting up to now? Oh, it seems to be playtime. I love it when you guys start these antics. I wonder what their next move will be. No ways! Can you believe it? It's so cool that they're all the way up there. Well, at least 2 of them. Best you abandon this mission, young man. What a beautiful scene this is. Ooh, now, coming down can sometimes be a bit messy, but she nails it.
Well, how awesome was that? Now, there have been some major changes, and even though we've been very lucky this week, I just thought we would show you how much she's moved. Now, this would be her usual territory. We're right in the southwestern corner of the Mara Triangle. If we go any further south to where the map becomes white, that is the border with Tanzania. Now, she apparently was seen on the border of Tanzania last week and actually crossed into Tanzania last week, but thankfully this week she's popped up quite far east of where we've been searching for her. So if we take a look at the map here, like I said, she used to spend time here. She's now moved 20 or 25 odd miles to this area, very close to one of the main bridges called the Purungat Bridge. And as you can see, there's been a lot of action over here. There's some hyena, a cheetah, a Thompson's gazelle that doesn't seem to be too healthy. There's a vehicle with a tow truck, and actually not one but 2 Tommies there. So we have been very, very lucky, and we've spent a lot of time with Naratoy and her 2 boys who are approaching a year of age, for any of you who may be new to Safari Live. So far more productive than the week before, and literally Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 days we've spent with her. We sadly didn't spend any time with her on Wednesday, and we didn't spend any time with her today. And I've got some slightly worrying news. One of the main rangers from the Mara Triangle gave me a call this morning and said that one of the young boys is missing. And Naratoi is desperately running around, calling, searching. So, who knows what happened last night? We left her heading off into the darkness with two boys just after sunset, and we thought we would leave them be. And then given a little bit of help to Tristan looking for the sausage tree bride. And obviously something must have happened during the course of the night. Whether it was lions or hyenas that disrupted the cheetah, possibly even a leopard that gave them a fright. Something's happened. I'm hoping the young boy has just run off and hidden, and he's just battling to relocate with mom. But there is a chance that something more serious has happened to him. Hello to Aiden, just 7 years old, and you would like to know if cheetah are related to leopards. Well, yes, they are related. They are both in the cat family. This is a leopard skull, and this is a cheetah skull. So you can see, Aiden, that the leopards are far bigger than the cheetahs. And even though they are related, they're also a little bit different. You get cats like lion and leopard who are more closely related. Well, I'm battling to put this skull back together as I'm supposed to. Not a very good job there, Aiden. So you get animals like lions and leopards that are more closely related to one another. And I guess you could say the cheetah is a bit of a distant cousin. Very good. Well, like I said, we've got lots of interesting updates that we are still going to let you know about here in the Masai Mara. But for now, we're heading you back down south to hear a few more tales about Kuchava.
Kuchava has been living up to her name this week, lying low with her youngster, making it difficult to sex the cub. The boldness of this youngster is starting to shine through and showing promising tree climbing skills too. Finally, a good view of the cub, and we can confidently say it's a little boy.
Shidulu's swiftness and agility on the ground and in the air is fantastic. She enjoys her space and will not even entertain having birds near her. Wanting to have a quiet meal, this leopardess chooses to eat her stenbok breakfast near some thickets on the ground.
Tingana picks one of the last fruiting trees at Djuma to stash his pantry in. A silly decision, and on Wednesday he faces the consequences as a herd of elephants in search of sweetness disturb his breakfast. The old boy demonstrates that he's still lithe and agile, albeit a little nervous of pachyderms.
He's heading towards those gazelles in the long grass, but it seems like they've sensed something. Here she goes. She singled out a youngster, but she's still got lots of work to do. She's gaining on it. She's got it. Now it's time to stash the kill in some cover, but the boys clearly have different plans and want to play with their food. Shame. The poor Tommy. Come on now, boys. Put it out of its misery.
Shame. It certainly is quite sad to see the poor Thompson's gazelle having to bear the brunt of those two young boys learning the way of the wild. But I guess that is nature, and sometimes it is very difficult for all of us involved to watch. I know Manu and I were certainly not in a good state seeing that poor Tommy running around half-eaten. But it does show that they do need to rely on their mother for a little bit more training, and they're getting to a point where in the next kind of 3 to 4 months they could be on their own. That would be on the earlier side of things to depart their mother's side. But it will be interesting to see and continue following them as they grow and develop. I'm hoping it's still there. Like I said a little bit earlier, one was reported missing this morning. Sadly, we weren't out in the field, but I will definitely be heading all the way, basically, and this will be quite nice for those of you who are new, from our camp which is all the way up here on the Mara escarpment. So this green band indicates a mountain. This is where our camp is. This car is upside down because it's broken at the moment. One of our 3 game viewers is broken. And basically we have to drive down into the reserve and then all the way down here. And then finally we get right to the southern edge of the reserve, very close to Tanzania. And that's where she was seen this morning, and that's where she's hung out the whole week. So hoping to go there tomorrow and find her with not 1 but 2 of her youngsters. Regarding hunting this week, it's been quite interesting. She's killed a lot of Thompson's gazelle. She's having a great time focusing on taking them down. And on Sunday she caught one. On Monday she caught one that we didn't see just after we left. Tuesday she caught another one. Wednesday she caught another. She's basically caught a Thompson's gazelle every single day this week, barring yesterday. And I'm told that she hasn't even been feeding on them and finishing them completely. So a lot of joy and success with her week and keeping the boys well fed. Some of you would like to know any updates on Malika and her 2 boys. Sorry, I didn't get your name. But no, I haven't heard anything, but probably a big reason why I haven't heard anything is because I'm probably not on Facebook as much as some of you might be. This is the Mara River, the blue line that flows through the kind of center of the map. Everything to this side, which is to the west of the river, is the Mara Triangle. Everything to the east of the river is the Mara Reserve. And typically, Malika would kind of hang around in this general area. She had quite a big range, and like all female cheetahs, not bound to a territory. So I saw her all the way at Lookout Hill and then all the way up in towards this area closer to the Talek River. So that's where she used to hang out. Where her 2 boys have gone, I am not too sure. But hopefully we will start spending more time on that side of the river and have some more updates on those 2 youngsters, on the 5 musketeers, who are an incredible coalition of 5 male cheetah, and a whole bunch of other characters that we'd like to catch up with as soon as we can. But for now, we've got enough work cut out in the Mara Triangle. Very good. Enough from us up here. We're going to send you back down to James in South Africa.
What an awesome scene to arrive to. This young guy is making the most of the only high ground in the area. It's quite a hot day, so I'm guessing they're looking for some shade. But, as usual, the boys are full of their playful spirits. No ways. I've never seen these cheetah face off with a hyena, and I'm pleasantly surprised as to how they are sticking together. Woohoo! They've managed to send it packing. Well done, Naratoy. You are definitely leading the way, teaching the boys how to keep pesky hyena at bay.
It's been a while since we have been to the den due to the rain. It seems like business as usual today as the cubs greet one another, sleep, scratch, and make sure they are well groomed for the day ahead. One lucky cub is getting breakfast, much to the dismay of the others, including Mom, as she shows off her best side for the camera. Paisley, meanwhile, comes to say hi to me before Pudding settles in for a proper breakfast.
Well, I must be honest, it's been a rather arduous task to try and figure out what's going on in the hyena world. Jamie is obviously on leave, and she asked me to kind of fill in while she was away, and it really is not easy to get to know all of them, but it was an absolutely wonderful kind of time spent at the den this week. Unfortunately, it did rain, and that meant that we didn't get to spend too much more time during the course of the week, but it was really nice to kind of spend time there, get to know some of the little ones, and they really are incredibly curious animals. It's incredible. You drive into this den and it literally is just an explosion of bodies out of the grass, and they all come trotting straight towards the car, and then it's this kind of game between all of the youngsters as to how to kind of play and to how to sort of get to the car first, and then each one picks a spot, and it's then about chewing as much as they can off the car as quick as possible, from mud flaps to bull bars to the winch to everything, and they just kind of go at it as much as they can. Now, the female that was there was Clever Girl, so she was suckling Pudding, and they are kind of the ones that we see a lot at the den themselves, and they kind of spend a lot of time, and she was the only one luckily getting some breakfast. Now, Francis, you say, how they have grown. They have grown. It's incredible because when I first got to actually the day I got to the Mara, I went with Jamie to the hyena den and got to see some of the little ones, particularly all of the sort of this generation here. So Izio Trot, BFG, Paisley played, got to see all of them, and they were still fairly dark around the leg areas. And when I went back this week, they've all kind of gotten a whole bunch of spots that have popped out and lots of little personalities that are developing. And it really is fun actually spending time there. I had the best morning with these guys. They are super curious, but like I say, really naughty. You spend more time watching what's being taken off your vehicle than you actually do watching the hyenas themselves. The other bit of really good news is that I know Jamie a few weeks ago, she spoke about a small little cub that she had seen, and she wasn't too sure who the mom was, but we confirmed this week that it is Sawa. So Sawa, as you can see, has now added to her massive lineage as it is. So she has now had her 8th little one that has come out, and we will hopefully be able to catch up with her a lot more and get some nice kind of sightings of her as we go. But it's just amazing to see how Sawa is growing her family, and whether or not she's going to be the sort of, well, difference between Waffles and her kind of taking over the matriarch's sort of role is going to be quite interesting. With her having so many offspring, she's going to have a lot of kind of support from them, and it's going to be a really interesting kind of development as we go. So it's going to be really cool. Now, I know a lot of you, and we were talking about hyenas, but we're going to jump a little bit. I know a lot of you have been asking about Lipstick and Blackie, which are the 2 male lions that we get in the Mara. And they are across the river. They're not actually on our side in the triangle at the moment. But some of you will have known that Lipstick, unfortunately, was found dead this morning, and you're wondering about where Blackie is. I haven't heard anything. We didn't spend too much time in the reserve this morning. We were prepping for this afternoon. So try and find out during the course of the next sort of while, and maybe next week we can give a bit of a better update. But I'd imagine he's around. I know he was seen during the course of this week, and so I'm pretty sure he's okay and kind of moving around. Good. We're going to, well, probably watch the last of the sun as it starts to set here in the Mara. And while we do that, let's send you back across to Tayla McCurdy, who I think is still with those large pachyderms.
The Egyptian geese gosling have been on a journey this week, with their parents leading them away from Bibbulshoek Dam. Unfortunately, they can't fly yet, and I bet they had no idea that they'd be walking so far over the next few days. Meandering along a drainage line that I've personally walked before, giving the goslings the perfect protection they need from the predators above. They arrived at Vuyatela Dam, but didn't stay long, as now we can't seem to find them. You can see 2 little eyes moving around. You might be able to see them just behind those leaves. Behind those leaves, there's a tree. What are they? Oh, I think it's a genet. I think they're 2 genets. I can see black and white rings on the tail. Can you see things moving around there? Look at that. There they go, down into the grass. Now a genet, and I'll show you a picture of it in a minute once we lose them. They're still there. Since they're just in... There's 3. 1, 2, 3. That's incredible. Do you want to go in... Stenzel wants to go into infrared. We're going to give it a bash and see if that helps us. There we go. So we've got the special light on, an infrared light which the animals can't pick up. I'm going to assist though with my spotlight. I can spotlight genets. They're nocturnal creatures, so the light will affect their eyes like it would an impala. They're still there. I can see the odd eye shine every now and then. You see, I think it's too dark without the light. So I think this is helping just a little bit because they're quite far away. But you can see a bit of movement. They definitely have long tails, and they're climbing up that tree, which makes me think that they are genets. There are not many other things out here that have got a long tail with black and white little rings around them. I wonder if they're youngsters. I don't think I've ever seen more than 1 genet at a time. Do you know what we're going to do, Senzo? I'm going to poke my nose just off-road, just a little bit, not very much, but I think just so that I can try and get a better view. And this little shrub is in the way, and I think if I back up slightly and just do that, there we go. Actually, so back there's another log. I'm going to keep my light on it to the right. There we go, and then center there. There we go. Those are genets. They are little ones too. This is the first time they were, like I said, I saw 3 pairs of eyes. Like I said, I'm not worried about... Oh, was that mom with the little ones? Oh my goodness. This is what I absolutely love about safaris, is that you see something new every single day. Oh, look, there's a little one. So it's mom with the little ones. Wow. And they don't seem to be running around. That would actually make sense why there's a fork-tailed drongo shouting about. And Genets eat a variety of different things. So there, 3 eyes is what I saw, so it must be mom and 2 little ones. I actually don't even know what you would call a little genet. Would it be a kit, like a bat-eared fox? But maybe James will be able to help us, or anybody. I can't, like I said, I've never actually seen a little one. I would imagine they'd have 1 to 3 youngsters at a time. This is so cool. Now, Paula, this is all new to me. I've never seen anything like this before, so I'm not really sure how long a young genet would stay with its mother for. I wouldn't imagine it's very long. Maybe just a couple of weeks to a few months. I'm going to guess now, and I have got a mammals book which I can check up in a minute, but let's just enjoy this while they're playing around. Hopefully they come out again. Maybe 3 months or so before they'll be on their way and independent. I don't think that they'll be like lions or leopards that depend on their mothers for or a little bit longer. That's so cool. This is the first time for everything. I think they've just ducked down now. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to send a pin. I'm going to drop a pin here and mark my location, because I wonder if they're not living in perhaps a fallen log that we just can't see behind all that tall grass. And now they've just disappeared. Well, at least they put on a little bit of a show. Very exciting stuff. And hopefully we'll be able to see them again. Amazing. We'll see if we can't get another view over here. Right, off you go to James, who I bet is just as excited as I am about these young genet.
Now, we have been spending some time over the past few weeks trying to... we've been spending some time over the past few weeks trying to get our migration sorted out and trying to understand exactly where the wildebeest are moving. And it's been quite difficult to be able to kind of find out exactly what's happening. Now, these small arrows that you see here, this is where the migration was last week. And in fact, one of our arrows has moved a little bit. So I need to change that slightly. But what's happened is some of the wildebeest have moved up towards the Genets River. They haven't crossed this river yet. Well, not that I've seen. I haven't heard of any crossings. And then a lot of them have actually gone back south again, back down to Ndutu. So this whole area is just constantly raining, and there's even some thoughts and rumors that possibly because of the amount of rain that they've had, which is more rain than they've had since 93 or 96, that they might actually not even come too deep into the Mara this year, and that they might just kind of get into the northern Serengeti, just touch into the Mara and the Mara Triangle, and then turn back. So it's going to be really interesting to see what plays out over the next few weeks. We're going to have to hope that the rain start to subside and that the wildebeest will then start crossing northwards towards the Mara Triangle. Now,
Hey, Tristan, come help, I'm stuck.
You might have heard that, but as you can see, there is a gentleman that is in need of my assistance, and this is not the first time this week.
Joyful recovery.
Well, it was an entertaining occurrence, and we've managed to save Scott not only from James the crocodile, but also from the mud. It was highly entertaining. We did have a good giggle when we were there, because we actually were parked quite far away, and then I saw Scott, and he wasn't really moving. He was just sitting still.
And I got stuck in a place where I shouldn't have, and Tristan believed in me, and he told James on camera, no, man, there's no ways that Scott's stuck there. The radio wasn't working. We were in a little bit of a valley. Not even the cell phones were working, so we kind of stewed for a while.
You did stew, actually. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I was glad that you were nearby.
Yes, and also glad you didn't take your head off with the recovery point when that broke off.
Exactly, yeah. It can be quite treacherous at times, but thankfully we've got new tow ropes, and those were definitely very, very useful with aiding in getting us out, and I'm sure you guys all enjoyed that behind-the-scenes affair. Getting stuck, there's guaranteed to be more, so don't worry, it's not the first nor the last. Very good, we're going to send you back down south to South Africa, and that will be goodbye from us in the Mara. We'll see you all next week.
There, he's still there. There he is. Twink, twink, right up top now. It's a little lesser bushbaby. There we go. Perfect. That's the nicest view I've had of one since I've been here. The one that's actually stayed still for the longest. Where's he gone? Oh, there he is. Still on the branch. Jumping there now. They are so agile. It's incredible. Jumping up to 5 meters, eh? On that branch there. There he is. That is very cool. And they do, if I'm not mistaken, they actually feed a lot on sap on the trees. So they'll bite a hole in the tree, and then it sort of oozes the sap or the gum, and they feed on that. Zora, these little lesser bush babies, they make like a yee-beep-beep, 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 choo, choo, choo. Tiny little calls like that. The thick-tailed bush baby is where the name actually comes from, because they do like the tree dussie, which is like like a crying baby. But these little ones, they've just got little chirps and squeaks. There he is. Oh, that's perfect. That's the best little encounter I've had. He's not too worried about us now. A nice distance between us, but we can still see him nicely. That is awesome. See, you never know what you're going to find when you're out in the bush, hey? We've been looking for leopards and shudulu in particular, but this is the perfect way to end my drive. I'm very happy about that. Oh, what's he doing? That is so cool, eh? A little bush baby. And they do urinate on their hands and feet, and then wipe it. There, you see, I think it might be eating little things there. They urinate hands and feet, and then they wipe it all where they go. Quite territorial, are they? Going around the branch. That is so awesome. Very happy with that. Now we are heading towards the end of the show, everybody, and what a way to finish it with this beautiful little bush baby doing his thing. But there's been all sorts, and it's been fantastic. So thanks to everybody involved, thanks to the team, and thanks to you, the viewers especially. And please, we'll see you in the morning. Have a good evening, everybody. Good night, and goodbye.